Okay, I told you in last class what was it all about in this chapter, what we are going to read. Yes, how we can transform any of the activity or any of the habit. Okay, and here we are going to talk about football coach Tony Dungy, and this team was continuously a failure, and later on we came to know that he started winning. So what targeted or what he targeted, or what step he targeted actually in making a habit loop. Fine, this thing we are going to learn in this chapter. So start. The middle one. What's your name? Abhishek. Abhishek. Okay. Please read from here. The game clock.
The game clock at the part of the field says there are 8 minutes and 19 seconds left when Tony Dungy, the new head coach of Tampa Bay Buccaneers, one of the worst teams in the National Football League, not to mention the history of professional football, starts to feel a tiny glimmer of hope. It's late on Sunday afternoon, November 17, 1996. The Buccaneers are playing in San Diego against the Chargers, a team that appeared in the Super Bowl the previous year. The Bucs are losing 17-16. They have been losing all game. They have been losing all season. They have been losing all decade. The Buccaneers have not won a game on the West Coast in 16 years, and many of the teams current there were in grade school. The last time the Bucs had a victorious season. So far this year, their record is 2-8. In one of those games, the Detroit Lions, a team so that it could later be described as putting the rest in motion, beat the Bucks 21-6, and then 3 weeks later give them again 27-0. One newspaper columnist has started referring to Bucks as America's orange doormat. ESPN is predicting that the league who got his job only in January could be fired before the year is done. On the sidelines, however, a Dungy watches his team arrange itself for the next day. It feels like the sun has finally broken through the clouds. He doesn't smile. He never lets his emotion show during a game. But something is taking place on the field, something he has been working towards for the year. As the cheers from the hostile crowd of 50,000 rain down upon him. See, Tony Dungy sees something that no one else does. He sees proof that his plan is starting to work. Tony Dungy waited eternity for this job.
I hope this word is clear to you all. Eternity. What happened to your voice? What has happened to your voice? Proceed. For 17 years.
He told the sidelines as an assistant.
Means he was prior to this position or prior to this job, he was positioned as an assistant coach.
First at the University of Minnesota.
Minnesota.
Then with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Then the Kansas City Chiefs, and then back to Minnesota with the Vikings. 4 times in the past decade, he had been invited to interview for head coaching position with NFL teams. All 4 times the interviews hadn't gone well. Part of the problem was Dungy's coaching philosophy. In his job interviews, he would patiently explain his belief that the key to winning was changing players' habits. He wanted to get players to stop making so many decisions during a game. He said he wanted them to react automatically, habitually. If he could instill the right habits, his team would win.
Okay, till here, what strategy you think that Dangi was planning? What he told? What is he discussing about? Instead of making too many decisions, he wanted that players should concentrate only few of them. Okay, and players should become automatically habituated that every decision they take must be automatic. Okay, in decision making, their brain should not work that much. This was what Tony Tangi wanted. Okay, proceed.
Champions don't do extraordinary things. Tangi would explain they do ordinary things, but they do them without thinking too fast for the other team to react. They follow the habits they have learned. How the owners would ask, are you going to create those new habits? Oh no, he wasn't going to create new habits. Tangi would answer, players spend their lives building the habits that got them to the NFL. No athlete is going to abandon those patterns simply because some new coach says to. So
Okay, again, another thing that as they are losing each and every game, so here Dangi's strategy was that he is not going to teach him any new strategy. He is neither opting to think to inculcate any new habit in them. Okay, what it is he trying to do? He is just trying to attack on the middle step. All the three steps you remember of habit loop? Anjali? Three step of habit loop. Cue, routine, reward, three steps which form a loop, and your behavior become automatic, right? Same thing it is talking about here also, that Tony Dangi is not thinking to attack on cue or reward, just he is trying to change the middle step, that is routine. Okay, how? See.
So rather than creating new habits, Tangi was going to change their old ones. And the secret
We haven't started even this chapter because I remember the same tea example. Huh? Okay. No? चाहे तो इसी क्लास में आता है, दूसरी क्लास में आता भी नहीं है. इसी क्लास में कुछ हम लोग डिस्कशन किए थे कि मिडिल चीज को हम कैसे चेंज कर सकते हैं. नहीं, जैसे फॉर एग्जांपल इस टाइम में चाय चाहिए तो चाय चाहिए होता है, कहा था मैंने. तो ये है ये स्टार्टिंग का मैं आपको ब्रीफिंग कर रही थी कि यहाँ पे कैसे कोई भी गलत आदत सुधरती है. तो जैसे मान लीजिए ये जो चाय पीने का जो समझिए जो प्लेजर है, जो रिवॉर्ड है, ये गर्म दूध से हम रिप्लेस कर सकते हैं. इस जगह पे हम अगर हॉर्लिक्स पिए, बॉर्नवीटा पिए, तो सेम रिवॉर्ड फील होगा कि नहीं. तो वही चीज आपका रिलेट कर रहा है यहाँ से, चाहे वो सिगरेट हो, चाहे वो आप अल्कोहल का कोई भी प्रॉब्लम हो. तो या फिर मान लीजिए वेट लूजिंग का इच्छा है लेकिन हम कर नहीं पा रहे हैं, या फिर वेट लूज करना चाह रहे हैं, कोई भी अगर बैड हैबिट को ट्रांसफॉर्म करना है, फाइन, तो कैसे करेंगे. तो ये एग्जांपल तो इसी क्लास में दी थी. तो ये उसमें मतलब पहले क्यों नहीं याद था आपको? ध्यान मेरा कहीं और था, इसका मतलब मेरा सही था, आप लोग का ध्यान कहीं और था. लेकिन मैं ब्लेम कंप्लीटली आपके ऊपर दे नहीं सकती ना, इसलिए आई ऑलवेज इन्वॉल्व माई सेल्फ ऑल्सो इन दैट कैटेगरी, राइट. यानी आप लोग फिर ध्यान से नहीं सुन रहे थे. चलिए प्रोसीड. सो रेदर देन यहाँ से पढ़िए.
So rather than creating new habits, Tangi was going to change their old ones. And the secret to changing old habits was using what was already inside their head. Habits are the three-step loop: the cue, the routine, and the reward. But Tangi only wanted to attack clear at the beginning and the end. His coaching strategy embodied an axiom, a golden rule of habit change that study after study has shown is among the most powerful tools for creating change. Dangi recognized that you can never truly distinguish bad habits.
अंडरस्टूड आप कभी भी कोई भी गलत आदत कंप्लीटली खत्म नहीं कर सकते जस्ट यू कैन ओनली चेंज दैट
Rather to change a habit, you must keep the old cue and deliver the old reward, but insert a new routine. That's the rule. If you use the same cue and provide the same reward, you can shift the routine and change the habit. Almost any behavior can be transformed in the cue and reward stay the same. The golden rule has influenced treatments for alcoholism, obesity, obsessive compulsive disorders, and hundreds of other destructive behaviors. And understanding it can help anyone change their own habits. Attempts to give up snacking, for instance, will often fail unless their new routine to satisfy old cues and reward urges. A smoker usually can't quit unless she finds some active to replace cigarettes when her nicotine craving is triggered. 4 times Dougie explained his habit-based philosophy to team owners. 4 times they listened politely, thanked him for his time, and then hired someone else. Then in 1996, the hopeful Buccaneers called. Dougie flew to Tampa Bay once again, laid out his plan for how they could win. The day after the final interview, they offered him the job. Dungie's system would eventually turn the books into one of the league's winningest teams. He would become the only coach in NFL history to reach the playoffs in 10 consecutive years, the first African American coach to win a Super Bowl, and one of the most respected figures in professional athletes.
ओके ये सब फ्यूचर में होने वाला है अभी हुआ नहीं ये सब मतलब ये सब आगे ये बहुत अच्छी टीम होने वाली है ठीक है फर्स्ट अफ्रीकन कोच होने वाले टू विन अ सुपर बॉल ये सब आगे होने वाला है अभी हुआ नहीं है अभी क्या होगा ये यहाँ से पढ़िए कि यहाँ अभी प्रेजेंट सिनेरियो में गेम हो रहा है ठीक है अभी एक गेम का प्रेजेंट सिनेरियो है जस्ट डंगी जस्ट वांटेड टू विन ठीक है बट ऑल ऑफ दैट वुड कम लेटर टुडे इन सैन डिएगो डंगी जस्ट वांटेड टू विन और ये है गेम का कंप्लीट सिनेरियो बास्केटबॉल प्लेयर हैं तो समझ में आएगा क्योंकि आगे यहाँ पे जो बताया जा रहा है वो सारा गेम का स्ट्रैटेजी है कोई बास्केटबॉल प्लेयर हाँ सॉरी फुटबॉल के बारे में है तो फुटबॉल किसी को आता है सिर्फ एक को गर्ल्स में एक भी नहीं ठीक है तो ये स्ट्रैटेजी क्या है आपको सीएस आगे एक्सप्लेन करेंगे आप ही पढ़िए फ्रॉम साइडलाइन
On the sideline, the lead looks up at the clock, 8 times remaining. The Bucks have been behind all game, whether squandered opportunity after opportunity in typical fashion. If the defense doesn't make something happen right now, this game will effectively be over. San Diego has the ball on their own 20-yard line. And the Chargers quarterback Stan Humphries is preparing to lead a drive that he hopes will put the game away. The play clock begins and Humphries is poised to take the snap.
Humphries अपोनेंट आपका प्लेयर है ठीक है ये जो सामने है डंगी के अपोनेंट Humphries.
But Dungy isn't looking at Humphries. Instead, he's watching his own players aligning into a formation they have spent months perfecting. Traditionally, football is a game of feints and counter feints.
Okay, what is this feint and counter feint?
And fake move.
Fake move. Good. Feint पे वही counter feint पे वही.
Counter feint में जैसे वो अगर in case fake move करा तो हम लोग counter back कैसे करेंगे? वो move.
Okay.
Traditionally, counter feints, tricks, plays, and misdirection. Coaches with the thickest playbooks and most complicated schemes usually wins. Dungy, however, has taken the opposite approach. He isn't interested in complication or obfuscation. Obfuscation. When Dungy's defensive player line up, it is obvious to everyone exactly which player they are going to use. Dungey has opted for this approach because in theory, he doesn't need misdirection. He simply needs his team to be faster than everyone else. In football, milliseconds matter. So instead of teaching his players hundreds of formation, he has taught them only a handful. But they have practiced over and over until the behaviors are automatic. When his strategy works, his players can move with a speed that is impossible to overcome. But only when it works. If his players think too much or hesitate or second guess their instincts, the system falls apart. And so far, Dungey's players have been a mess. This time, Howard has a Bucks lineup on the 20-yard line. Something is different. Take Reagan Upshaw, a Buccaneer defensive end, was settled into a three-point stance on the scrimmage line. Instead of
scrimmage line
starting line.
या फिर गोलकीपर के सामने जो लाइन
मैम यहाँ पे फुटबॉल का बात हो रहा है वो डिफरेंट वो हैंड से खेला जाता है काइंड ऑफ रग्बी होता है फुटबॉल का मतलब हमारा स्क्रिमेज लाइन नहीं होता
यहाँ तो फुटबॉल के बारे में ही डिस्कशन हो रहा है
फुटबॉल यस दोनों को फुटबॉल में सिर्फ लेग यूज करते Instead of looking up and down the line, he's trying to absorb as much information as possible. Upshaw is looking only at the cues that Dungey had taught him to focus on. First, he glances at the outside foot of the opposite linesman. His toes are back, which means he is preparing to step backward and block when the quarterback passes. हम यहाँ पे वो बात तो है डिफेंसिव लाइन है यहाँ और पीछे से रन करके जाएगा बाकी लोग ब्लॉक कर सकते हैं ये मैम दूसरा फुटबॉल का
जो भी बताए मेरे को फुटबॉल का कोई आइडिया नहीं है सही लगेगा मेरे को proceed.
Upshaw looks at the linesman's shoulder, rotated slightly inward, and the space between him and the next player, a fraction narrower than expected. Upshaw has practiced how to react to each of these cues so many times that at this point he doesn't have to think about what to do. He just follows his habit. San Diego's quarterback approaches the line of scrimmage and glances right, then left, barks the count, and takes the ball. He drops back 5 steps and stands tall, swiveling his head, looking for an open receiver. 3 seconds have passed since the play started. The stadium's eyes and the television cameras are on him. So most observers fail to see what's happening on the Buccaneers. As soon as Humphries took the snap, Upshaw sprang into action. In the first second of the play, he darted right across the line of scrimmage so fast the offensive linesman couldn't block. Within the next second, Upshaw ran 4 more spaces downfield. His steps are blurred. In the next second, Upshaw moved 3 strides closer to the quarterback. His path impossible for the offensive linesman to predict. As the play moves into its 4th second, Humphries, the San Diego quarterback, is suddenly exposed. He hesitates, see Upshaw from the corner of his eye, and that's when Humphries makes his mistake. He starts thinking. Humphries spots a teammate, a rookie tight end named Brian Roche, 20 yards downfield. There's another San Diego receiver much closer, waving his arms, calling for the ball. The short pass is the safe choice. Instead, Humphries under pressure performs a split-second analysis, cocks his arm and heaves to rock. That hurried decision is precisely what Dungey was hoping for. As soon as the ball is in the air, a Buccaneer safety named John Lynch starts moving. Lynch's job was straightforward. When the play started, he ran to a particular point of the field and waited for his cue. There's enormous pressure to improvise in this situation, but Dungey has built Lynch until his routine is automatic. And as a result, when the ball leaves the quarterback's hands, Lynch is standing 10 yards from Roche, waiting. As the ball spins through the air, Lynch reads his cue. The direction of the quarterback's face mask and hands, the spacing of the receivers, and starts moving before it's clear where the ball will land. Roche, the San Diego receiver, springs forward, but Lynch cuts around him and intercepts the pass. Before Roche can react, Lynch takes off down the field toward the Chargers' end zone. The other Buccaneers are perfectly positioned to clear his route. Lynch runs 10, then 15, then 20, then almost 25 yards before he finally pushed out of bounds. The entire play has taken less than 10 seconds. 2 minutes later, the Bucks scored a touchdown, taking the lead for the first time all game. 5 minutes later, they kick a field goal. In between, Dungy's defense shuts down each of San Diego's comeback attempts. The Buccaneers win 25-17, one of the biggest upsets of the season. At the end of the game, Lynch and Dungey exit the field together. It feels like something was different out there. Lynch says as they walk into the tunnel, we are starting to believe when he replies.
Okay, ये जो 25-17 है, देखिए डिफरेंट प्लेयर का अपोनेंट प्लेयर का स्कोर है क्या? फुटबॉल का स्कोर कार्ड कैसे होता है? कैसे ये 25-17 है ऐसे कैसे? तो वही मैं बोले ना अपोनेंट का है ना? यहीं तक था फुटबॉल गेम, अब यहाँ से है फाइनली अब दूसरा कुछ एक्सपेरिमेंट है. ओके यहाँ पे अगेन नेक्स्ट पर्सनालिटी आपको मिलेंगे बिल विल्सन. फुटबॉल खत्म, ठीक है. अब बिल विल्सन का कैसे है, वो कैसे रिकवर कर पाए. अगेन ये अल्कोहलिक थे और ये इसका फ्रेंड की बात होगी कि कैसे वो भी पहले अल्कोहलिक था लेकिन अब वो रिफ्यूज कर रहा है लेने से और अब उसको आदत नहीं, एडिक्शन नहीं. फिर ये अपना कैसे एडिक्शन खत्म कर पाए बिल विल्सन, वो इस स्टैंजा में आप लोग देखेंगे सेकंड वाले. ठीक है, यहाँ से पढ़िए, इधर से कोई सबसे साइड में आप ही आपका नाम मेगा. टू अंडरस्टैंड
To understand how a good focus on changing habits could remain a team, it's necessary to look outside the world of sport, way outside toward injury basement on the lower east side of New York City in 1934, where one of the largest and most successful attempts at fighting habit change was born. Sitting in the basement was a 39-year-old alcoholic named Bill Wilson. Years earlier, Wilson had taken first drink during back in New Bedford, where he was learning to fire machine guns before getting shipped to France and World War I. Prominent families who lived near the base often invited officers to dinner, and one Sunday night, Wilson attended a party where he was served rare wheat and beer. He was 22 years old and had never had alcohol before. The only polite thing it seemed was to drink the glass served to him. A few weeks later, Wilson was invited to another elegant affair. Men were in his doors, women were flirting. A butler came by and put a bronze cocktail, a combination of thin, dry, and sweet wormhound and
बटलर क्या होता है पता है ना?
and orange juice into Wilson's hand. He took a sip and felt. He later said as if he had found the elixir of life. By the mid-1930s, back from Europe, his marriage, colleagues apart, and a fortune from selling stocks surprised. Wilson was consuming 3 bottles of booze a day on a cold November afternoon. While he was sitting in a room, an old drinking buddy called Wilson invited him over and mixed a pitcher of pineapple juice and tea. He poured his friend a glass. His friend handed it back. He had been sober for 2 months, he said. Wilson was astonished. He started describing his own struggles with alcohol.
यहाँ तक वही था जो मैंने आपको बताया. ठीक है, 2 months से he was sober.
Including the fight he had gotten into at a country club that had cost him his job. He had tried to quit, he said, but could not manage it. He had been to detox and had taken pills. He had made promises to his wife and joined abstinence groups. None of it worked out. Wilson asked had his friend done it. I got religion, the friend said. He talked about hell and temptation, said, and the devil. Realize you are lived, admit it, and get willing to turn your life over to God. Wilson thought the guy was nuts last summer and alcoholic crackpot. Now I suspected a little crack about religion. He later wrote when his friend left, Wilson polished off the booze and went to bed. A month later, in December 1934, Wilson checked into the Charles P. Towns Hospital for drug and alcohol addictions and upscale Manhattan Detox Center. A physician started hourly infusions of a hallucinogenic drug called belladonna. Then in work for the treatment of alcoholism, Wilson floated in and out of consciousness on a bed in a small room.
Okay, here it is describing about that addiction. ठीक है, ये ड्रग्स के एडिक्टेड होने के बाद फिर बेड पे कैसे परेशान हुआ था.
Then in an episode that has been described as millions of meetings in cafeterias, union halls and church basements, Wilson began writing in agony.
Breathing in agony, ये क्या होता है breathing in agony? What do you mean by breathing? तड़पना, गुस्से में वो तड़प रहा था. ठीक है, began breathing in agony. For days he hallucinated.
Hallucinated, the withdrawal pains made it feel as if insects were crawling across his skin. He was so nauseous he could hardly move, but the pain was too intense to stay still. If there is a God, let him show himself. This one get to his empty room. I am ready to do anything at that moment. He later wrote a white light filled his room. The pain ceased and it felt as if he were on a mountain top and that a wind not of air but of spirit was blowing. And then it burst upon me that I was a free man. Slowly the ecstasy subsided. I lay on the bed, but now
ये again ecstasy subsided. Basically यहाँ पे देखिए spirituality की बात हो रही है. ठीक है, तो I don't know whether it is real or not, but उसको ऐसा फील हुआ और वो जो लाइट था वो फाइनली सबसीडेड, मतलब क्या, परमानंद जो है वो धीरे धीरे रिड्यूस हो गया. ठीक है, वो जब लाइट आया तो अचानक से पेन खत्म हो गया और फिर धीरे धीरे वो जो लाइट था वो धीरे धीरे खत्म हो गया. तो सबसीडेड मतलब वही होता है कम होना, और इसका मतलब होता है परमानंद खत्म हो रहा था. ठीक है, सोली द एस्टेसी सबसीडेड.
I lay on the bed, but now for a time I was in another world, a new world of consciousness. Bill Wilson would never have another drink for the next 36 years until he died of emphysema in 1971. He would devote himself to founding, building and spreading Alcoholics Anonymous until it became the largest.
अच्छा, यहाँ पे ये देखिए ये क्या चीज है, अल्कोहलिक एनोनिमस. ये आपका ऑर्गेनाइजेशन है जो आगे आप ए के नाम से ही जाने. ठीक है, तो ये आगे ए जब आएगा तो कंफ्यूज नहीं होगा. यहाँ पे आगे भी ए का ही डिस्कशन है, तो यहाँ पे ए को ही प्रायोरिटी दिया जा रहा है. तो ए इज अल्कोहलिक एनोनिमस, जो हेल्प करता है ये सारी चीजों से बाहर निकलने में. ठीक है, चाहे वो ओबेसिटी हो, चाहे और भी एडिक्शन हो, उससे बाहर निकलने. अब कोई और पढ़िए, विवेक पढ़िए.
An estimated 2.1 million people seek help from AA each year, and as many as 10 million alcoholics may have achieved sobriety. Through the group, AA doesn't work for everyone. Success rates are difficult to measure because of participants
multi
but billions credit the programs with several layers. It is foundational review. The famous 12 step has becomes cultural
lodestones,
stones incorporated into statement programs for everything. Game, gambling, debt, sex, drugs, holding, self-mentioning,
mutilation,
smoking video games, additional, emotional dependency, and dozen of others destructive behaviors. The group technicals offer in many respects of the most powerful formulas for change, all of which are somewhat unaccepted becomes it has almost no grounding in sense of most accepted their theoretic methods.
कुछ हो रहा है वहां पे?
And for
क्यों
this-
पहले उधर हंस रहे हैं, फिर इधर हंस रहे हैं, फिर हो क्या रहा है? हाँ? क्या नहीं आ रहा था? मिल नहीं रहा था। हो गया, आगे बढ़ो।
And for this course in more than having its physical addiction with psychological and
Perhaps
genetic roots. What's interesting about it is, however, is that the program doesn't directly attack many of the
psychiatric
psychiatric of biochemical issue of researchers say one often at the core of the alcoholic drink. In fact, it is method seem to scientific and medical finding. Altogether, the way as the type of intervention many strategists say alcohol really need what it provides. Instead, is a method of attacking the habits that surround alcohol use. In a sense, in massive for changing habit looks and through the habit associated with alcoholism are extends. The losses it provides demonstrate how almost any habit, even the most obstacles, can be changed.
यदि रीडिंग नहीं कर रहे हैं घर में कर रहे हैं, घर में क्या पढ़ते हैं? यही बुक पढ़ते हैं, कुछ और पढ़ते हैं? क्या जैसे क्या कोई न्यूज़पेपर लेते हैं? ठीक है, तो पढ़ते हैं ना। वहां चेक करने वाला कौन है घर में कि सही पढ़ रहे हैं गलत पढ़ रहे हैं? किसी के सामने पढ़ते हैं या रिकॉर्ड करते हैं? कैसे पढ़ते हैं? जस्ट ऐसे रीड आउट या फिर सिर्फ आंख से देखते हैं? पढ़ते हैं ना। आप पढ़िए बिल विल्सन। यहाँ पे बेसिकली यही का कंप्लीट डिस्क्रिप्शन था कि ये बहुत जाइंट मशीन है जो हेल्प किया है बहुत सारे एडिक्शन से बाहर निकलने में। लिस्ट वाज ऑलरेडी गिवन देयर, कितने गैम्बलिंग से, कितने होर्डिंग से, बहुत सारी चीजों से बाहर निकालने में ये हेल्प किया है। ठीक है, इसी का प्रॉपर यहाँ तक उसी का ही डिस्क्रिप्शन था। अब आगे बढ़िए। हाँ ठीक है, इधर से कौन कम आते हैं? प्रेरणा को दीजिए। Bill Wilson didn't read.
journals, or consult many doctors. Before only a few years after he achieved sovereignty, he wrote a few new famous 12 states in a rush one night while sitting in the bed. He chose the number 12 because there were 12 aspects of the program are not just unscientific. They can seem downright strange. Take for instance that alcoholics attend 90 meetings in a 90 days. The stretch of time it appears chosen at random, or the program's intents focus on spirituality as articulated in step there, which says that alcoholics can achieve sobriety by making a decision to turn our will and appetites over to the care of good God as we understand him. 7 of the 12 steps mention God on spirituality. It seems odd for a program founded by a one-time agnostic who throughout his life was openly hostile towards organized reason. Meetings don't have a prescribed schedule or curriculum rather they usually begin with a member training his or her story, after which other people can achieve.
फॉलो करें.
There are no professionals who manage conversation and few rules about how meetings are supposed to function. In the past 5 decades, as almost every aspect of psychiatry and addiction research has been revolutionized by discoveries in behavioral science, psychology, and our understanding of the brain, AA has remained frozen in time. Because of programs that academic and researchers have openly criticized its clear emphasis on spirituality, some think made it more like a cult than a movement. In the past 15 years, however, a revolution has begun. Researchers now say the program's method over valuable reasons. Faculty at the University of Chicago, the University of New Mexico, and dozens of other research centers have found a kind of science within AA that is similar to the one joining the used on the football field. Their fielding involves the building of habit change. AA succeeds because it helps alcoholics use the same cues and give the same reward, but it shifts the routine. Researchers say that AA works because the program forces people to identify the cues and reward that encourage their alcoholic habits and then help them find new behaviors. When George Hopkins was sailing Pepsodent, he found a way to create a new habit by triggering a new craving. But to change an old habit, you must address an old craving. You have to give the same cues and reward as before and fit the craving by inserting a new routine. Next step 4, to make a searching and fearless inventory of ourselves and find to admit to God, to ourselves, and to another human being the exact nature of our wrongs. It's not obvious from the way they are written, but to complete those steps, someone has to create a list of all the triggers for the alcoholic urge. Say, J. Scott John in, a researcher at the University of New Mexico who has studied AA for more than a decade. When you make a self-inventory, you are figuring out all the things that make you drink and admitting to someone else that all the bad things you have done is a pretty good way of figuring out the movements where everything spirals out of control. Then AA asks everybody to stretch for the reward they get from.
रहने दीजिए. यहाँ से क्या चेंज हुआ है ये अभी तक और डिस्क्रिप्शन करना बाकी है कि कैसे वो रूटीन को चेंज कर रहे हैं. इतना तो समझ में आया कि वही टारगेट किए हुए रूटीन को चेंज करना, लेकिन क्या वो आगे बताया जाएगा. पेज नंबर 92 याद रखिए. थर्ड सेम तक आते आते तरीका भूल जाते हैं क्या? या फिर वेट करते हैं कि कब डांटा जाए तब हम फॉलो करें? वही रहा क्या? शाहिद है? महिमा? 4, 5, 6, 7, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33,